Most people do not enjoy their daily commute. Inconsiderate and outright dangerous drivers, daily traffic jams, and even road hazards like potholes, which do a number on your tires as well as your nerves, are all part of the perfect cocktail of frustration and loss of love for humanity. If you want to feel better about your road experience, however, know that you have it easy compared to some of the most dangerous roads in the world. 10. Passo dello Stelvio, Italy. Top Gear dubbed this road the greatest driving road in the world, and in some ways it is a marvel of modern engineering. It is exceptionally well maintained, but it is easy to see the risks when driving on this scenic mountain pass through the Eastern Alps. This wild ride has 48 hairpin bends, is full of narrow stretches of road and steep inclines. Thrill-seeking drivers who revel at pretending they are James Bond flock to driving it. Passing or bypassing oncoming traffic while driving along an edge of a cliff and taking corners at speed is surely a drain on the nerves. 9. A285, United Kingdom. The bendy A285 route doesn't look that much different than any other A road in Britain, but since November of 2014, the Road Safety Foundation deemed it the most deadly road in the whole country. The A285 runs along the coast between Petworth and Chichester for about 19 kilometers and is responsible for the highest levels of serious and fatal accidents in the UK. Between 2007 and 2012, there was a 16% rise in accidents, mostly due to high rates of road runoffs as well as motorcycle collisions. 8. Canning Stock Route, Australia. There are some roads you travel only if you are stocked up on supplies, have an appropriate four-wheel drive vehicle, and some level of vehicle repair knowledge. One such road is Australia's Canning Stock Route, which stretches 1,850 kilometers across Western Australia between Halls Creek and Wiluna. This is, in fact, one of the longest and most isolated stretches of road in the world, so be prepared to spend 3 weeks making it across the Great Sandy Desert, Gibson Desert, and Little Sandy Desert on your trek on this historic road. If you do have a road emergency, rest assured that you are far removed from most sources of support. So if you're stuck, help is almost definitely not going to come. 7. James Dalton Highway, United States. This 666-kilometer stretch of road through the nearly barren and vast Alaskan isolation is meant to be used as a supply route for the Trans-Alaska Pipeline System. This road will truly test the willpower and nerves of any driver, even the most experienced one. Along the route there are only 3 towns, so drivers need to stock up on supplies, survival gear, and a lot of fuel before traveling here. The highway is filled with steep gradients and has very strong wind gusts that can throw small stones at vehicles at high speeds. The conditions are of an Arctic variety, making this somehow even more difficult to travel. Smaller vehicles are advised to conduct extreme caution as the road, when it is used, is occupied mostly by bigger vehicles, and they should be passed or traveled in the vicinity of with caution. 6. Guolian Tunnel Road, China. This may not be a long tunnel, spanning only 1.2 kilometers, and may not even be as deadly as some others on this list, but it might be one of the most unnerving. The tunnel was carved through the Taihang Mountains to assist villagers from Guolong in traveling through the mountainous terrain rather than over it. In the 1970s, it was literally carved into the side of a mountain and cost several workers their lives during construction. The road has crudely carved windows which allow the drivers to see the deadly plunge below them as a reminder to slow down when traveling through the various twists and turns before arriving on the other side. This claustrophobic and genuinely creepy tunnel will grind the nerves of even the most cautious of drivers. 5. Skipper's Canyon Road, New Zealand. You know a road is hazardous when it's one of only 2 roads in New Zealand that insurance companies refuse to sell insurance for and requires a special permit to travel on. While it may sport some stunningly scenic views, it is not hard to see the danger on this road. The road is rife with massive potholes and has no guardrails along the steep edges with drops hundreds of meters deep full of jagged rocks below. The road is made of gravel and is so narrow that if 2 vehicles were coming up on each other during the 26-kilometer stretch, one may have to back up as far back as 3 kilometers to allow the other to pass by safely. 4. Kabul Jalalabad Road, Afghanistan. This 64-kilometer road is susceptible to Taliban ambushes and suicide bombings, but somehow that is not the leading danger of this perilous route. Most drivers eager to get through this area drive at very fast speeds and act very recklessly, taking turns at full speed and completely disregarding their safety. This means that serious collisions and road runoffs are almost a daily occurrence. 3. BR-116, Brazil. This massive 4,385-kilometer stretch of road, the country's second longest, initiates in Fortaleza on the northeastern end to Jaguaroa on the southern. It has earned itself the ominous nickname of the Highway of Death thanks to the surreal number of fatal accidents that occur on it. Some sections of the road are susceptible to weather conditions, have high winds, and run along very steep cliffs. All this contributes to a very high rate of serious accidents and vehicular fatalities. 2. Fairy Meadows Road, Pakistan. The name may sound appealing, but make no mistake, the Fairy Meadows Road is one of the world's most dangerous and deadly routes. While it may lead to a beautiful grassland, not surprisingly named Fairy Meadows, the 16.2-kilometer trek is anything but a cruise tour. The road is gravel and extremely narrow, so much that at the end of it, one can no longer travel in a vehicle, just by car or bicycle. The road also travels at a very high altitude with no protective barriers of any sort, so even the slightest off move can send the other driver over the edge to the rocks below. Worse than that, the road is highly susceptible to extreme weather like snow, ice, and avalanches. This kind of road is enough to give pause to even the most die-hard or thrill-seekers. 1. North Yungas Road, Bolivia. Leading from La Paz to Croiso, this aptly named Death Road takes an estimated 200 to 300 travelers' lives annually. The 5-hour drive that it takes to cover the road is only 10 feet wide, hardly enough for one vehicle, with road rails barely found throughout. The road dramatically drops in altitude as well, as you descend into the Amazon rainforest while approaching Croiso, as the drop plunges from 15,260 feet to 3,900 feet. The change of climate is significant between November and March. The weather brings lots of rain, mud, and fog. The summer weather does not make things any easier. The road is prone to falling rock zones and poor visibility due to floating dust. It is so close to unusable that in recent years, the North Yungas Road underwent a type of modernization, in this case being the avoidance of a lot of the road by building a bypass. But thrill seekers still venture to the Death Road, including lots of mountain bikers who relish the idea of a 40-mile downhill descent to test their fate against one of the most dangerous roads on the globe. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and enable notifications so that you get every video that we upload right to your device right when it goes up. And thank you for your continued support.